I'm Elizabeth Henson. Welcome to the Messy Success Podcast, where I'm helping creative dreamers and overachievers tackle business and life. After 6 years of being my own boss, I finally unraveled a tiny bit of what it takes to survive in this amazing world of being an overly creative entrepreneur. I'm your business bestie, here to help you with all those big ideas and to normalize some of the day-to-day struggles that we all share. My mission is simple. I want more women to make a living doing what they love and to feel good about themselves in the process. The best way to start? We can't do it alone. So welcome. I hope you'll hang out with me here where it's totally okay to be messy. Hello, welcome. Happy Thursday. I'm so excited to be joining you guys this week. Madison has been a little bit sick, but thank goodness my husband saved the day and he came home to take care of her on podcast day. But I have a pretty fun episode for you guys today. So I just got done putting together a coaching video for one of my Shine Elite girls. So if you missed it last week, I launched a brand new program called the Shine the Light Society. This is my new membership program and I'm so excited about it. We are beta testing it right now. So I let in about 30 girls that I am so excited and blessed that they are taking a chance on me. 30 girls into the program so that I can test it out and get their feedback. So within the Shine the Light Society, there is also an elite coaching program called Shine Elite. And this is for the people that want more, the people that want that one-on-one coaching, but they might not be local or they prefer virtual, or they just want to take advantage of the opportunity because it's at a group rate. So Shine Elite, I have 4 women in there and I am digging into their businesses individually and we're coming together as a group. So this is the very first week. So I just completed my first video where I'm basically going through the questionnaire of one of the students and I'm sending them back video feedback and homework before we have our call next week. And the common threads that I saw in the questionnaire are common threads that I see over and over again. So I was like, well, what a perfect topic for the podcast to talk about the 3 most common themes that I see when I am coaching or mentoring other creative women, especially photographers, but these relate no matter what you do. So the top 3 topics that I'm going to be talking about today are finding our ideal clients, pricing, and workflow. So you guys know I love my solo short and sweet episodes. So I'm not going to be digging in so deep to each one, but more scratching the surface and giving you a little bit of actionable things that you can think about right now. Okay. So let's start with ideal clients. So people look at ideal clients as this really scary and complex thing. But here's what I'm learning over the years. The more that we lean into our true self and we let our true self and our personality quirks and all of our awkwardness, whatever it is that we might be too much in one category and then we fall short in another category, but the more that we can expose that and put that into the world, the more we are going to attract our people, the people that want to work with us because they're highly attracted to those qualities that we have. Now, sometimes our ideal client is nothing like us, right? So we just need to make sure that we are talking in what I call our brand voice, right? So we're talking to our potential client, our audience, in a way that is going to attract the people that we want to attract. Now, for me, I get to be my true and authentic self because I want people to know exactly who I am before they hire me. I want them to know that I am definitely not going to be a fly on the wall. I am very much comfortable and extroverted. I love to talk, but I also love to listen. And I really just value other people. So I'm definitely one of those people that walks into a room and I see you, right? Like that is me. So I really try to lean into my core values and exactly who I am. And that helps me attract my ideal clients. And also just the showing up part, right? Like women come to me all the time saying, I'm not booking. I'm like, okay, well, I just went to your Instagram and realized that you have not posted in 4 weeks. So where exactly are you showing up? We have to show up even when it's hard. And that doesn't mean, oh my gosh, I have to post 2 times a day, but we have to show up. We have to remind people that we are here and that we want to serve them. We want to show them our product or our service, and we are passionate about it, and we have to show them what separates us from everyone else. If we don't show up and we're, sitting back wondering where the people are, we have to put ourselves in front of them. So we have to put ourselves in front of them, and we have to speak in a way that is going to attract the people that we want. So a couple ideas on how you can do this. If you're completely unsure, you can read some of your best client reviews. What are they saying about you? How can you lean into that more? You can go back and read emails that you've written back and forth with really great clients. What are some things that you said that put them at ease, that made them more excited to work with you? How are you wording things, right? Like, I'm a little bit more comfortable when my clients are comfortable. And if that means that they drop an F-bomb, I am going to take a big exhale and say, okay, they're comfortable around me. That is a win, right? So knowing how to take some of those words that have worked in the past and continue to do that over and over and over. So ideal clients doesn't have to be this big, scary thing. Sometimes it means that we're just playing it too safe. We're playing it too safe, or we're playing it too small. Because if you're really putting yourself out there and you're showing up consistently and you're constantly telling people what you're passionate about, what you value, what makes you unique, and why they should hire you, then you're going to begin attracting more of those ideal people. Okay, let's go into pricing just a little bit. So when I talk about pricing, my big thing is knowing your bottom dollar amount. So what is that amount that you know that if you go and do something for that amount, you're going to be resentful, right? So your bottom dollar needs to be above that. Your bottom dollar needs to be like, okay, this is the lowest amount of money that I will leave my house and physically go work for, or that I will physically create this product, or the lowest amount that I will coach someone for an hour, right? We all have to set that bottom dollar amount. And I'm not talking about profit. I'm talking about the resentment line. Because if we say yes to things just for the money, but we are in a place of resentment because, I got to take this because I need the money. I got to take this because I need the money. We are not going to serve them the way that we should be. And I know that doesn't really make sense. And you're like, no, but I can still serve them while I just need the money. But that's not going to get us where we want to go. And to get where we want to go, we have to be working in that place of profit, in that place of joy, not in the place of desperation and I just need the money. So tell yourself, what is your bottom dollar? What's the lowest amount that you would do a job for without feeling resentful or without feeling like you're just saying yes for the money, and start charging more than that every single time. And there's some ways around that, right? So for me, if I'm taking a mini session, I have started saying, okay, well, this is the lowest amount that I'll do a mini session for. But if I can book 2 of those back to back, then I'm really winning. Then I'm making twice that same amount of time as a 1-hour session. So there are ways that you can say, okay, I can still pull in some of these clients that are not in a top budget, but I can make it fit my needs. They have to come to a location that's close to me. They have to be willing to only work for 20 minutes. And they have to be willing to be scheduled next to someone else. And they win because they're still getting the service that they want for the price that they want. But I win because I'm controlling some of those variables at a price that makes me happy. So knowing your bottom dollar is going to be so huge on how you can get to the next level of pricing. And then obviously, are you counting all of your hours, right? Like I did the math, I think my second year as a photographer, And I started counting the time I spent emailing, the time I spent editing, the time I spent uploading images to galleries, driving to locations. And I realized that I was making like $5 an hour. I was like, how is this possible that I can charge, $1,600 or $1,800 for a wedding and not be making any money? Because I wasn't factoring in all the hours. It's so much more than just showing up and taking pictures. It's so much more than that, right? Like, we have to have websites, we have to have marketing tools, we have to be on top of our email. A great business owner is on top of their email. Talk about a pet peeve when people don't respond to emails, right? That's a whole nother tangent. But anyway, so setting your pricing so that you're actually making a profit and so that you're above that resentment line, and just know that people are going to accept or reject your price no matter what the price is. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be someone who thinks it's too much. There's always going to be someone who thinks it's too little and wants more. So it is truly up to you, my friend. And the sooner that you can really believe that and have confidence in that, the better you're going to do. Okay. Topic number 3 is kind of a beast. So I constantly hear people who are struggling with their workflow or their work-life balance. I kind of put these in the same category because typically a successful workflow means successful work-life balance. And this is really funny because this is where I am totally type B, messy success queen over here, because I do not think that I have a perfect workflow. I have a very far from perfect workflow. One of my big things that I'm working on right now is how can I do better? How can I have a better morning routine? How can I stop obsessing over work so much, right? But what I have done that works for my type B self is I'm very strict about my work hours when my kids are at school, right? So knowing that no matter what, I know that I have uninterrupted office time from 9:45 to 12:45, Monday through Friday, and that does not waver unless the school schedule does. So I know no matter what, I can count on those 3 hours a day, okay? And I always tell people, whether you just have 1 hour or 3 or 6 or 8, you know when those uninterruptible hours are. All right. Maybe they're not the same every week, and that's okay. But if your kids go to bed at 8, okay. So from 8:30 to 9:30, I know no matter what, nobody's going to bug me. So I know that I can count on that 1 hour. So start with, what can you count on? What hours are definitely available to you? And then you have to master not overbooking what goes in those time blocks. Because when my kids first started going to this school, I'm like, oh my God, I can work. But I was constantly overbooking what would fit in that window of time, and I was still feeling frustrated. Where now I've gotten a little bit better at knowing how much I can get done in those 3 hours. And that just comes from us paying attention and knowing, like, okay, so to call a memory card that's 16 gigs takes me almost 20 minutes per card. Knowing how long that tasks take. I know that to turn around a 15-minute podcast episode, I need at least an hour uninterrupted. You have to know what tasks will fit into that time frame and then plan accordingly. So while my workflow is still a little bit of a mess, I know each week what I have to get done, and I know that it's going to fit into those chunks. And then, of course, when it comes to answering emails, being in my Facebook groups, all of these other tasks, that's where I'm making up for it in the morning and during nap time, and then a little bit in the evening while my husband does bath time. But that's it. But it's funny because you would think during my office hours of 9:45 to 12:45 that I have the quickest email response time, but that's actually not always true, because that is when I am accessing my zone of genius. I laugh every time I say that, but it's so true, right? That is when I am podcasting. That's when I'm creating content. That's when I am building out these big projects little by little by little. Anything that needs what I call my full brain power is happening during those sacred work hours. And that, I think, is what has separated me as far as my workflow. People are like, "You're so busy." And I'm like, "I'm not really that busy. Like, I'm just productive. Like, I just make the most out of those few hours a day that I have. And then the rest of my day can be a little bit of a mess. Like in the afternoon when Madison's asleep and Gracie's awake, like sometimes I'm having quality time with Gracie. Sometimes she watches a movie and I get to work, but I don't ever know what that time is going to look like. That's what I call like the unpredictable part of my day. So it's far from perfect, but in this stage of life and parenting that I'm in, it works for me. And I just try to very carefully budget what I can fit into that zone of genius time, that work hours, those work hours. So those are the three things. I hope that that was a little bit helpful. Like I said, we could seriously spend an hour episode on each of these topics, but I just wanted to scratch the surface so that if any or all of those are relating to you right now, that you can walk away from this episode with at least one kind of actionable thing that you can do. So just a quick recap for ideal clients. Are you showing up? Are you talking to them in what I call your brand voice that is going to attract the more people that you love? Pricing. Are you working in a state of joy versus a state of resentment? And workflow and work-life balance. Are you properly scheduling and booking what you can fit in your allotted time frame? I hope that was helpful. I love hearing from you guys. Every time I get the opportunity to help someone or coach someone, inspires me for different things that I can do here on the podcast or in the Messy Squad or in the Shine the Light Society, right? Oh my gosh, all the things, Liz, get it together. But anyways, if you missed out and you want to be sure that you are first on the list for the Shine the Light Society, you can go to elizabethhensonphotos.com/Shine the Light Society and you can hop on the wait list right there, or just be sure that you join us in the Messy Squad. That is my free Facebook group, and you can find that by going to elizabethhensonphotos.com/podcast. I hope to see you there. Thanks so much for listening. If you loved this episode, share it on Instagram and tag me so I know that you loved it, or even better, hop over to iTunes and leave us a review, because I love showing up here for you guys, but I'm a words of affirmation kind of girl, so let me know that it was helpful for you. All right, guys, have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next week.